This is not going to work. Mr. Stewart, would you start to give us the invocation?
Sure. Please stand and join us. Heavenly Father, again, we thank you for this opportunity to come and serve our citizens of our county. We ask, God, that you just be with us here tonight as we make decisions that will affect our county. Lord, we ask for your blessings. We ask these things in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. Tonight, we'll have a couple of opportunities for citizens to speak, citizens to be heard, or in any of the agenda items. If you wish to speak, come up and talk, give a card to Miss Patty. Remember, when you come up to speak, give us your name and address, okay? Approval of the agenda?
Vote to approve.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add an item on the airport item under my time, please.
Okay.
I'll amend my motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's not going to be long.
Passes 5-0.
Yeah, it's about 7 o'clock on.
This is
Take my motion back.
no awards and presentations.
Move approval consent.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. That gets us to general business.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, item number 13, request board approval to purchase a new vehicle for the Planning and Community Development Department in the amount of $30,198 from Alan J. Chevrolet.
Approve.
Second.
Where's Alan J. Chevrolet?
They're on state contract, so I'm
I
not
used to
sure.
buy them for the road department all the time. They always win the bid.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Request board direction regarding code enforcement.
Yes, this is requesting board direction regarding code enforcement action on structures damaged by Hurricane Michael. During the initial safety inspections following the storm, staff tagged approximately 28 structures as dangerous structures or unsafe to occupy. 12 of those structures have since come in to get a permit to obtain repairs or demolition of that structure, but there are 16 structures out there remaining that have not either contacted staff in an effort to make those repairs or come in at all to obtain permits. Over the last few weeks, staff has received several calls from citizens concerned about damaged properties that seem to be abandoned or otherwise untaken care of, and staff is seeking direction to move forward with issuing notices of violation for these dangerous structures in
To
an effort to gain
initiate code
compliance.
enforcement action on properties unsafe.
Second.
And furthermore, Summer, you and I talked about this. I told her I used to live in Lake Ellen Estates, and I don't know how many abandoned mobile homes there were with broken windows and just generally unsafe. Maybe if, right now we're only complaint generated, but I mean, if somebody building apartments out and they see an obvious dangerous structure that, kids can cut their arms on or something like that.
What I said.
I'm not proposing to do that right now, but I'm just saying.
I said that very same thing today when I'd like to see us do that.
I think it, again, the only experience I have is Lake Ellen Estates, and me and a couple of guys bought up several places and tore them down and built a house. But having a broke down house, and especially in a subdivision that nobody takes care of, the grass, there's trash everywhere, and the windows are broke, it just brings everybody's property value down.
It's affecting a lot of property values, and we need to have a program as the building inspector goes around and he sees this, he ought to be initiating action on it.
How do we do condemnation right now? Is it complaint generated only?
In most cases it is, unless there's something that presents itself as a serious health, safety, and welfare issue.
Just something for y'all to think about.
Absolutely.
Commissioner, an obvious unsafe structure, there's already authority for the building official to proactively take steps to have that remedied. That already exists. This item came to you because of the sensitivity with regard to the
I'm not talking about somebody having working on cars at their house. I'm talking about somebody that has abandoned a home and the windows are broke or a septic tank is open or something like that.
And that's already in your code.
Okay.
And what we're talking about tonight is only for health, safety, and welfare issues, not just
Probably
discretionary.
abandoned structures that were probably nobody
Correct.
lived in there before the hurricane.
Correct.
Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0.
Get your ad on? Or is that, oh, you're going to do it under your stuff.
Planning and zoning.
Mr. Chairman, the first planning and zoning item is an application for a change of zoning, R1901. In accordance with Section 24.01 of the code, each commission member needs to disclose any ex parte communications you may have received regarding this item. Commissioner Merritt?
No, I didn't talk to staff.
None.
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 I ran into Mr. Meadows by accident at Winn-Dixie this afternoon, and that is it.
Better recuse yourself.
You're good. Okay. If there's anyone here who's going to provide any information on this application, including the applicant, please stand up to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
This change of zoning request, R1901, is for a change of zoning on 2.7 acres of land from RR1 to low-intensity commercial. This is 2 lots within the Evergreen Acres subdivision. Staff would like to note that attachment 3 of your agenda item is a zoning map which does not clearly reflect the current conditions. A few months back, the board approved a change of zoning to this same low-intensity commercial zoning on the 5 lots immediately north of the subject property up for rezoning this evening.
This is kind of on the corner of Walmart and Crawford Highway around Goo Goo Car Wash, basically?
Yes, this is directly behind to the east of Goo Goo Car Wash and south of Walmart.
To approve.
Second.
Any other discussion? The residents of Evergreen Acres, they've all been, the ones within 500 feet have been notified?
Everyone within 1,000 feet of this property has been notified by mail of this rezoning, and there was signage placed on the property as well as an advertisement in the paper. Staff has not received any phone calls or written correspondence in opposition.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. County Attorney.
You were all copied with a recent lawsuit that was received today regarding ADA accommodations on your website.
I wonder what that was.
That's not unexpected. There's been a rash of these lawsuits around the state. There's at least 100 of them pending in various jurisdictions, most of them with the same law firm. It has been submitted to FACT for a coverage determination. I'm not sure if they're going to cover it or not. It's kind of a little bit of a gray area. If not, we will certainly defend it, and I think you do have some defenses. There's been some movement in other counties of the state where they've been able to successfully get these dismissed.
Is this the one where the gist of it is that a sight-impaired person can't look and understand the county website because there's no verbal component to it to describe what they're looking at?
Yeah, it is generally that. It's limited to the PDFs that are up there. Some of them, they allege, are not accessible with a screen reader. That remains to be seen. This particular defendant actually made a request for documents, and the documents were sent in an accessible format, and yet a couple weeks before this lawsuit was even filed, and yet we still got the lawsuit. So we need to marshal all those facts and take a look at that.
County Administrator.
Yes, Sheree? We went, this is concerning our airport and the bill that we're in the process of introducing, hopefully get introduced through the legislature, through the House here shortly. We had a flurry of emails and activity late last week, so therefore that's the reason a lot of this stuff is coming up, and we got to file some notices, etc. So Sheree, you take it from there.
Okay, well, with Representative Bashir is taking a job as the Secretary of the Department of Business and Professional Regulation, it left a vacancy apparently for the area that he represents. What happens is when a senator or a representative leave, they either have to find someone to sponsor their bill or you have to do it. And there's just a lot of procedural things more than we have in the legislature. So what happened is last week I finally was able to get in touch with Senator Munford's office, who is championing this bill for us, so to speak. And he reached out to Representative Geller because local bills have to be filed by the House, not the Senate. So Representative Geller agreed to sponsor the Airport Authority bill on Wednesday of last week, which meant that everything that we had to do was fast forward. The House Policies and Procedures for local bills requires that the bill be noticed in a local paper, the county's intent to file, as well as notice of a public meeting for the local delegation to come down. So last Wednesday I got all the information. I had to coordinate with Geller's office, Mumford's office, and Vicki Summerhill, who is Bashir's staff, who is still working on our behalf, but they will not allow those staff in the Capitol. They are having to work remotely. So anyway, I got everything I needed, drafted the public legal announcement, worked with Heather's office, Evan, to get the announcement done. It went to the paper, and it's being advertised in next week's edition for the public meeting to be held on Thursday, February 28th at 4:30 here in the chambers. Senator Mumford will be here and possibly Representative Geller. And then basically the meeting will be almost like a legislative delegation meeting where people will be able to speak on behalf or against the airport legislation.
Where's Geller from?
Sir?
Where's Geller from?
Dade County. He represents portions of Broward and Dade County.
Irregardless of that, tell him we appreciate it.
Yeah, his office actually, and he's a Democrat, his office called me, and I spoke with them, and they got information. Heather helped with talking points, and it was like within a matter of 4 hours, everything was committed to, but then they said, okay, this is what you have to do. You've got to get this meeting noticed, and then they gave me a laundry list. We've got it all done, and we're ready to go next Thursday at 4:30.
You just have to waive the rules, right?
What happens if the House leadership, which is the Speaker, local bills have to be filed on the first day of session, which is March 5th. So what will happen is the House can't take up the bill for 30 days after the public notice. So that puts us about the end of March. So they will have to waive the rules for a local bill and then allow the bill to go to committee and be heard after the first day of session.
And they'll do that?
I am saying yes because otherwise I don't believe that Geller would have committed to this.
And Geller attends a lot of the Florida Association of Counties meetings, and so I guess that's why he's doing that. He's local government friendly.
Did you help out?
No, I did not.
Okay.
No.
Should have said you did.
What's the date and time? What's the date and time they'll be here?
February, next Thursday, February 28th, 4:30 here. So
You put in next week's paper?
This week.
it will be. I had to get the legal ad approved by the House, the Senate, our office, Heather. So it had to go through a lot of reviews to make sure that, because you have to, it's like any other legislative ruling, has to have a certain language. So we got all that done. I will tell you, Wakulla News, Crystal at Wakulla News was wonderful. She proofed it. She got it ready, sent it to us this afternoon, and it will run in this edition of the Wakulla News on Thursday.
Thank you.
I think at this point what we would like just you guys to vote to ratify having that meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0.
Quick review, Heather.
That's all I've got, Mr. Chairman.
Any more citizens to be heard? Discussion items by commissioners.
Had to see our TPA today, so this, man, I apologize for bringing up changing the meeting time. I should have realized it. Today would have been one of the days where there would have been a conflict. So, sorry for all the grief, but it gave y'all, Ralph gave you something to do.
I need something to do.
Mr. Messerschmidt?
I have nothing to say.
I do. I have one thing. We have a meeting on March 18th, 2 meetings from now. That's also during spring break, and I will not be here for that meeting. I would
Where you
like,
going?
family reunion.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I'm going on a cruise. And I hate to miss a meeting, but I'd like to see if we could possibly move that meeting to a week later. And then, next year and going forward, let's try to time those meetings with spring break and not schedule them during spring break.
there's
Not only,
nothing controversial going to be on there. I think we'll make it without you, but I don't.
Oh, I mean,
I don't
yeah.
mind changing it going forward when we do our next calendar to get away
In
from
the past, you have changed that meeting.
Workshop.
Because
Yeah.
it is spring break for all Wakulla County schools, so it just
Yeah.
got,
So it's not only for us, but citizens who may want to be here, but they're out of town for spring break.
Yeah, that's
And
up
we
to you
do have
guys.
some applicants that will be tentatively on that agenda as well.
And we
Have you
do-
already
That may
advertised for
be-
stuff?
And
Nope.
Sheree just also, will also not only planning and zoning, but Sheree also, we've got a MyApp workshop too. That's very, very important.
Sorry, Ralph.
Oh, I'm fine. I wanted to put y'all on notice.
That's a good idea next year. Let's try to
Yeah.
work around it.
We don't know those dates until the school board puts them out. We don't know them when we get our calendar out.
Yeah.
But we can know it by the school year starting,
Yeah, we can adjust once we know what the
Once we
schedule
know
is.
before we've advertised for
Yeah.
stuff. Motion to adjourn.
Return.
I didn't get a chance, so I didn't have anything, but
I was going to say, the
I
dean
had a whole
got
page full here, but next time.
got scared.
Ask Mike about his new car.